Evolving Pokemon is one of the core mechanics in the series. Leveling Pokemon up to make them stronger and become Pokemon champion is every trainer's eventual goal. Most Pokemon have a simple evolution condition, just level them up. Some other common evolution methods involve trading them to another trainer, giving them a specific item, like an evolution stone, or getting high friendship level. But I'm not here to talk about those. I'm going to rank the top 10 unique evolutions, the ones that really make a Pokemon stand out, and some that make you think Game Freak has no idea what they're doing. At number 10, we head to the Galar region, where one of the original 151 Pokémon, Farfetch'd, gets a new form and a new evolution. Galarian Farfetch'd and its evolved form Sirfetch'd are now fighting-type Pokémon and are known in the region as brave warriors. This ties into their evolution method, as they are the first Pokémon in the entire series to evolve after doing something specific in battle. In order for this Galarian duck to evolve, it needs to land 3 critical hits in one battle. Its signature held item, the Leak, is incredibly helpful for this, as it raises the critical hit chance of any Farfetch'd holding it by 2 stages. I really like that Farfetch'd evolves using its signature item in battle, and it's very fitting that a Pokemon that uses a Leak as a sword finally gets an evolution in Pokemon Sword. Next up is number 9 on the list. It's a bug Pokemon from the Hoenn region, but not the one you're expecting. Wurmple is one of the first Pokemon you can encounter on your journey through Hoenn, even being catchable on the very first route. Its evolution into Silcoon or Cascoon is seemingly random, but there is a hidden formula to determine which cocoon you will receive. The personality value is a 32-bit integer that is generated when a Pokemon is first encountered, and is used to determine most of a Pokemon's characteristics, including its gender, ability, nature, and whether a Pokemon will be shiny. It also includes some more specific interactions, like what pattern a Spinda's spots will be, what letter an unknown will be, and whether Wurmple will evolve into Silcoon or Cascoon. Unfortunately, there's no way to check personality values of a Pokemon without cheating, so you'll just have to level that Wurmple up to see what you get. At number 8 on the list, another Pokemon that received an evolution long after it first appeared. Bisharp was introduced in Pokemon Black and White, and was the final evolution of Pawniard until Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and its new evolution Kingambit released. To get Bisharp to evolve, it will need to take down 3 other Bisharp that are holding the Leader's Crest item. To find these Bisharp wielding a Leader's Crest, look for the ones surrounded by a group of Pawniard. After defeating 3 of these and gaining another level, it will be checkmate for your opponents, as you now have the powerful Kingambit. It had to wait 12 years, but this pawn finally got promoted to King? Wait, that's not how chess works. Oh well, close enough. Number 7 is one of the most unique Pokemon ever, so of course it has a unique evolution. Nincada is the only Pokemon that can evolve into 2 Pokemon at the same time. Nincada is based on cicadas, who live most of their lifespan underground, which is why it has the ground typing. After they emerge from the ground, they will molt their shell in order to grow wings. This is where Nincada's unique evolution comes from. It will always grow its wings and evolve into Ninjask at level 20, but if you leave an open space in your party and an extra Pokeball in your bag, Nincada's old shell will become a Pokemon as well, turning into the mysterious Shedinja. Just make sure to leave room for Shedinja because it's one of the most useful Pokemon to have in your party. Its ability Wonder Guard negates all damage done to Shedinja except for super effective attacks, hazards like spikes, and weather. This means many trainers in the game can't even touch Shedinja. The next Pokemon on the list is one that actually can't evolve in any of the mainline Pokemon games. Meltan is a mythical Pokemon that was first catchable in September of 2018 during a Pokemon Go Community Day event. Meltan and its evolution Melmetal are the only Pokemon that can only be caught in Pokemon Go. You will have to transfer a Meltan to be able to use it in mainline Pokemon games, but be careful as Meltan will have to be transferred back to Pokemon Go to evolve. Getting 400 Meltan candies is the only way to evolve it. This makes it the lone Pokemon to use Pokemon Go candies as the only evolution method. Whether you like to fight with your legs, your fists, or by spinning around on your head, Tyrogue is the Pokemon for you. Tyrogue is a baby Pokemon and the pre-evolution of Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan, and Hitmontop. What makes Tyrogue so special is that it's the only Pokemon that evolves based on its stats. Tyrogue evolves at level 20, and its next stage depends on its attack and defense stats. If its defense is higher than its attack, Tyrogue evolves into Hitmonchan. If the attack is higher, Hitmonlee will be the evolution, and if both attack and defense happen to be equal, you will receive a Hitmontop. This makes for some interesting scenarios where you may not want to evolve Tyrogue right away, instead training it to get the evolution you want. The theme that the martial arts Pokemon is able to train before it evolves and then go into a specific discipline is such a cool concept and definitely belongs on this list. Number 4 on the top 10 unique evolutions, we head back to the Galar region for a sweet treat. Milcery is known as the cream Pokemon, and its evolution into Alcremie is not as simple as just leveling up. To evolve a Milcery, the player has to spin in a circle while Milcery is holding one of 7 different sweet items, and then striking a pose. Alcremie's form also depends on the time of day, the length of the spin, and which direction you spin it. Because of this extreme customization in Milcery's evolution process, you can make a whopping 63 different forms of Alcremie. This makes it the most customizable Pokemon in the entire series, and probably the most delicious too. On to the top 3, we have one of the goofiest evolutions in the entire series. The revolving Pokemon, Inkay, was introduced in Pokemon X and Y. This little squid seems cute at first glance, but they have a secret that will only reveal itself when it evolves. But how do you evolve Inkay? Inkay evolves into Malamar when it hits level 30, while the console you are playing on is held upside down. This kinda makes sense for the 3DS, but when Inkay came to Nintendo Switch, players would have to undock their console for the evolution. I really like the idea of flipping a Pokemon upside down when it evolves. Just be careful when obtaining a Malamar, as its Pokédex entry in Omega Ruby states that it wields the most powerful hypnotic powers of any Pokemon and can force others to do whatever it wants. Before I reveal the top 2 Pokemon on the list, I want to go over some of the evolutions that just missed the cut. Basculin received a new evolution in Pokemon Legends Arceus. To get Basculin to evolve into Basculegion, it has to take at least 294 damage from recoil without fainting and then level up. This takes a bit of skill compared to most evolution methods, and I really appreciate that. Another honorable mention is a trio of Pokemon from Scarlet and Violet. Rellor, Bramblin, and Palmo all evolved by taking them for a walk. No, really. Using Scarlet and Violet's Let's Go feature and having these Pokemon take 1,000 steps without returning to their Pokeball, their next level up will result in evolving to their final form. The last honorable mention is Eevee. Eevee is a super well-known Pokemon for its many evolutions, and it even holds the crown for being able to evolve into the most Pokemon with 8 different evolutions. If you made it this far into the video, consider leaving a like, I would really appreciate it. Also consider subscribing if you want to see more Pokemon content. Anyway, let's get back to the video. The number 2 spot on this list belongs to Galarian Yamask. This Pokemon has one of, if not the most specific evolution condition in the entire series. To evolve Yamask into Runerigus, it must take 49 or more damage in one battle and survive, then travel to the Dusty Bowl in the wild area. Once you walk under the large stone arch, Galarian Yamask will start to evolve. No one really knows the exact reason for these strange conditions for evolution, but after some research, it may have something to do with a set of Viking runestones on the Swedish island of Lovo. One of these runestones, titled U49, has a serpent on it and resembles Runerigus pretty closely. Another theory is that the number 49 is a number closely associated with death in Japanese culture, which seems pretty fitting for a ghost-type Pokemon that is said to have once been human. We're down to the final spot on the list, which means only the most unique evolution remains. The top spot on the list belongs to a special Pokemon, the 1000th Pokemon in the Pokédex. Gimmighoul is a ghost-type Pokemon from Paldea and evolves into Goldengo, except this evolution takes a little more work than most. To get Gimmighoul to evolve, trainers will have to collect 999 Gimmighoul coins by battling and catching wild Gimmighoul in the ruins of Paldea or on top of watchtowers. Each Gimmighoul chest is worth 50 to 80 coins, but you could get lucky with up to 777 coins from one chest. These chests are also not guaranteed to respawn every day, so it can be a bit of a grind to get the coins, but when you do, you will be rewarded with one of the strongest Pokemon in the region. Gholdengo's body made of coins is completely immune to status conditions with its signature ability, Good as Gold. Also, to show off those coins you earned, Gholdengo can literally make it rain on opposing Pokemon with one of the strongest moves in the game. That's all for the top 10 most unique evolutions in Pokemon history. I hope you enjoyed learning about these Pokemon as much as I did researching them. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.